Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I am reviewing the Cricut Explore Air 2. Have you ever considered buying a Cricut? If you are a scrapbooker or a card maker or a paper crafter like me, you have probably heard of a Cricut machine already. You may already own one, or maybe you might like to find out a little bit more about these clever machines. What makes them unique, how you can use them in your scrapbooking and your card making to make your process, your creative process, flow better or inject some new creativity into your process and create some different projects around your home and in your craft room. Cricut kindly sent me this machine to review, but let me assure you that the opinions in this video are all mine. So let's get started. One of my original concerns about using the Cricut was that I was a little concerned that my technology skills might not be up to using this machine. I felt a little bit nervous that maybe it would take me a lot of time to learn how to use the machine, and it would possibly be a long time before I could create something with the machine. I had quite a few hesitations inside me that made me think, oh, maybe this is just a little bit too hard for me to master. I can actually say that these initial concerns that I had when I first started thinking about owning a Cricut are actually not concerns of mine anymore. And by the time you get to the end of this video, you will see how easy it is to set up the machine, how easy it is to make these projects, and how successful I have been in such a short amount of time. So in the video, I'm going to take you through just a little bit about the basics of setting up your machine, and then I'm going to take you through 3 projects that I made using the machine. And then right at the very end of the video, I'm going to talk to you about how I overcome my initial worries about the Cricut and the success that I had with this machine. Inside your box, you'll receive this little envelope, and inside the envelope, you'll have your steps to set up your machine. Number 1, unleash this beauty. This basically just means take out your power cord, plug your power cord into the back of your machine and plug it into your power point. This is just powering up your machine and getting it connected. The step number 2, get connected, is connecting it to your computer. You've got to go to cricut.com/setup and follow the steps to connect it to your computer. Number 3, make a little something. During the setup, if you follow it, they'll show you how to make a little project. And number 4, you need to bookmark cricut.com/create, and that's where you will find all of the projects that you can make on the Cricut and the Cricut interface for your laptop or for your iPad. So these steps might sound really obvious, but when you're new to a Cricut machine, I found them really helpful as to exactly what I need to do to get myself going with the Cricut. So the very first thing I did when I got my Cricut was I plugged it in. So I've just plugged mine in, I've popped the little cord in at the back, and I'm going to turn it on now. Here we go, I'm pressing the on button. Okay, it's on. And then there's a button over here that says open. So I'm going to press the open button and it opens up just like that. Step 2 is get connected. So this is where you need to go to either your laptop or your iPad or your device of choice, and you need to go through the steps and connect your device. You can use your cord, you get like a USB cord if you want to connect it that way, or you can do what I did and connect it over Bluetooth. So whatever suits you the best. I actually asked my 9-year-old boy to help me set this up because he loves technology, and he did it in 5 minutes flat. So I think most people would not have a problem with connecting everything up, and I would suggest just take your time and just follow the prompts, and you will get your Cricut connected in no time. Once you have your Cricut connected, then it's time to go on to your Cricut design space, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So when you first open Cricut Design Space, this is what you will see, and you'll see that we have this little toolbar over here. We've got the home button, welcome Alicia, my projects, explore, and new project. Then we have a search bar at the top here where we can search for a project. We can also press for beginners, and it'll give us some beginner projects that we can do. So this is a great starting place. We've got iron-on projects, there's paper projects, things that you can customize, and some infusible ink, and customizable group t-shirts. So that's beginners, or you can click back and you can search holiday ideas, where there is banners and t-shirts and holiday daycare and gift ideas. Lots and lots of things that you can do in here. And then we have everything labels at the top, where you can make your own labels for things. You can make signs, signs for the garden, bathroom, garage, calendars, all sorts of things in there. There's also some featured images at the top. There's projects, my own projects along here. There's some top video playlists which can help you get started, and more ideas, Christmas things, organizational hacks, card making, things that the community have added in, iron-on for all occasions. There is a little bit of a downside with the Cricut Design Space. If you want to have access to all of these amazing projects, you do need to pay either individually for each of those, or you need to subscribe to their monthly subscription, which I have just done. You get a month for free at the start, and then I think it's $13.99 a month after that. I've chosen to subscribe so that I can have the full benefits of the Cricut Design Space and the machine. There are some free projects, so that gives you a little bit of a basic overview of the Cricut Design Space, what it looks like. And now we're going to try a few different projects so that I can show you how this machine works and how easy it is to get started. Now that we have our Cricut connected to our device, and we have been into Cricut Design Space and we've had a little look around, it's time to start our first project. There are so many things that this machine can do. I didn't know what to include in this video, my very first video. I decided to limit it to just 3 projects for this video. The first project I'm going to do is a project where the Cricut Machine only draws. So it's a drawing project. Doesn't do any cutting at all. The second project that I decided to do was a just a cutting project. So I'm sticking to paper for this video too, because that's my special area, even though I'm completely conscious of the fact that the Cricut can use up to 100 different materials. But for today, I'm just going to stick with paper or cardstock. So we're going to do a drawing project, then we're going to do a cutting project, and last of all, we are going to do a print and cut project. And in, I guess, layman's terms, we're going to do a colouring in page, a mandala colouring in page for number 1, our drawing project. We're going to make paper flowers for number 2, which is our cutting project. And we're going to print and cut a butterfly for our third project, which is our print and cut project. So I'm going to take you through briefly how to do each of those projects so that you can get a little bit of a feel for how you can use the Cricut Machine in your card making or your scrapbooking or your paper craft projects. Let's get started. For my first project that I wanted to do for this video was I wanted to just use the Cricut drawing tool. So the Cricut Machine can actually just do a drawing without cutting. So in order to do this, you need to get one of the pens, one of the Cricut pens. So I received this black one. So what you do is you take the lid off and you open this little A-clamp. You put the pen into that circular hole and you have to press it down hard until that arrow is disappeared. So you've got to sort of shove it right down into that little A-clamp and then you just close that up. And that means your machine is now ready to draw. So the next thing I did was I went into Design Space. So once I was in Design Space, I searched for the word drawing. I wasn't really sure what word to write in the search box, to be honest. I just wanted to see the Cricut draw something on its own without cutting it. Anyway, I scrolled down and I found this mandala colouring page and I thought that would be perfect for what I'm trying to achieve for this video. You click on it and the project comes up. It tells you that it's a 12 by 12 project. It will require cardstock in white, you need your mat, and you need a Cricut Explore pen, which I had. So I had everything that I needed to create this project. I clicked Make It, and the Cricut Design Space took me to what the mandala would look like. You can see here it has the word pen, so that means it will only draw. There will be no cutting involved with this project. This is just completely drawing, and you can see how the mandala takes up the space of the entire 12 by 12 piece of paper and the 12 by 12 cutting mat. I clicked continue. I needed to connect my Cricut, which basically means turn it on. It wasn't turned on, so I plugged it into the power and then it automatically just connects to your laptop. It tells me that I need to load in my black pen and load in my mat. So I did those things and then it started to draw the design onto the cardstock. This was actually fascinating to watch. To draw this complete design, I think would have taken about 10 minutes for the machine to complete the design. And it was amazing to watch a machine print or draw in this way. I found it really, really interesting and amazing. And I guess it really started me thinking about how could I use this drawing tool in my scrapbooking or my card making process. What images do I have? What digital images do I have that can be put onto cardstock, and then I could draw them, I could have them cut out. It just sort of gets the creative process going. And there is the finished mandala, and for this mandala I think I'm just going to color it in. And it's absolutely beautiful and was amazing to watch. Now we're up to project number 2, our cutting project. This is where the Cricut will just cut. And for this project I chose to create some paper flowers. I have always been interested in flower making. Even though I haven't delved into it a lot, I really am fascinated by the people that can make flowers out of paper and make them look amazing. So this is something that I really wanted to try. These are the flowers that we're going to create today. You can see the colours. We've got the dark green, purple, yellow, pink and light green. And I just followed the project on the Cricut Design Space to cut the flowers out, and then I worked out how to put them together. I'll show you now how I did it. So for this project I searched in flowers, and lots of different projects came up. I saw this heading here that says Cricut projects, and I clicked on view all. Then I saw these beautiful peonies on this flower crown, and I love peonies, so I decided I'd have a go at making those. Even though I didn't want to make a crown, I just thought I would make the flowers. So it tells you again what materials you need. So you need green cardstock, light green cardstock, pink, purple and yellow. You need your 12 by 12 mat. You need a hot glue gun. Well, I just used normal glue that I use in my paper craft projects. I didn't worry about the floral wire, and I didn't worry about the colored ribbon. So then I clicked make it. So you'll see here how it has 4 different colored cardstocks, and you'll see next to each of the colors it's got the words basic cut. So that means that the Cricut will be cutting these images out. It does not require the pen. This is just a cut project. So one by one I followed the instructions. I loaded the pink page on first. Actually there's another one down here. There's number 5. There's five pages altogether. So I loaded the pink one on, loaded it into the machine, it cut it out, and you know, it just kept on going through all of those until it got to the last one, and then all of the papers were cut out. I managed to get some footage of the machine cutting out the flowers, and it just did this methodically as it went through all of the different colors of the papers and the designs. Once all of those cardstock flowers were cut by the machine, I took them off the mat using that special tool, and then I sorted them into colors. I found the instructions for the flowers quite difficult to follow, so I basically just sort of made up to the best of my knowledge of flowers as to how these peonies should be put together. And just with a little bit of trial and error, I think I figured it out pretty well. I was happy with how they came out anyway, so I just basically glued all of the pink petals together and then all of the purple petals together, and I added some leaves and some yellow centers to both, and then I've sort of folded back the petals and tried to sort of rough it up a little bit so that it had quite a bit of air in between the layers. It was really quite fun to create. And I was very impressed with how the flowers turned out. So I think these could be used in a smaller version on a layout or a card to enhance your card making and your scrapbooking projects. This brings us to our third and final project for this video, which is the Print and Cut project. And for this project, we're going to be printing out this butterfly, and then the Cricut will be cutting it out for us. To print and cut my image, I'm going to start in the Cricut design space, and I'm going to upload an image that I already have on my computer. This is not from the Cricut design space. This is an image that I purchased through Creative Fabrica. So I've uploaded the image there, and it's this little butterfly, and then I'm going to add it to my canvas. And there it is. Now you can play around with the size of your butterfly and of course add many more things to your page, but for this video I'm just going to press Make It. Now this is what it will look like, the size. It's on an A4 piece of paper. I'm going to print it first, okay? So I'm sending it to my printer, which I connected via Bluetooth, and it's going to print that out on my printer that I already own at my house. Then I get that off my printer, and then I put it onto my Cricut cutting mat. This is my Cricut cutting mat. It comes with the plastic sheet on the top. You take that off and it's all sticky underneath. So I'm going to place the A4 cardstock from my printer carefully into the top left-hand corner of the mat, following the lines so that it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to place that in my Cricut machine. Now that we have our butterfly on our mat, we're going to pop it into the Cricut and see what it will do. So to load it in, first of all, you slip this mat in and you press this button here. That's loaded it in. Then we're going to go on to the Cricut design space and click the button. So what happened once I pressed that Cricut button is that the whole thing went in, and it's now starting to cut out the butterfly. It's measuring it all first. It's pretty clever. It's working. And it's all done. Okay. I'll press this button here. Now I'm going to take it back over to my craft desk and lift it off. I've got this little tool that can help me peel back the paper. And I've sort of learned that the mat is really, really sticky when you first get it. And then the more you use it, the less the stickiness tends to, it sort of loses its stickiness slowly over time. So I'm just peeling back that outside white paper from the butterfly. It's nice and slowly. And now all that I've got left is the actual butterfly. Isn't that amazing? So now I'm just going to scrape it off the sticky mat. To be fairly gentle because it is only cardstock. And just carefully lift off the butterfly. There we go. Pull out that little bit of white. And I just wanted it to be perfect, so I just pulled off that little bit there so that there was no white at all. I mean, this is a very fine cutting piece with these beautiful little antennas on the butterfly. There we go. That's looking beautiful. So I mean, imagine what you could use this for. You could use this on a card, on a layout. You can print and cut any image. I think any SVG image it's got to be, as far as I know. So the possibilities are really quite endless for your scrapbooking and your card making projects. So I am what you would call a complete beginner in terms of the Cricut machine. And at the beginning of this video and my review on the Cricut, I confessed some of the reservations that I had about using the Cricut. I admit I was quite worried about setting it up. And I did enlist the help of my 9-year-old. I do think though that I could do this on my own if I didn't have anyone that I could rely on, considering that he did it in less than 5 minutes. So I really don't think it takes a huge amount of IT skills to work it. However, I really do recommend that you are familiar with either a laptop or a computer or an iPad, so because you will need to connect the Cricut to your computer. So you do have to have a certain amount of IT skills to get this machine to work for you, but I had no problem with my level of IT skills. I could work it quite well. My second concern was, do I have the time to commit to learning how to use the Cricut? Well, I would probably say that if you are an experienced crafter and you are experienced on computers, then I reckon you can get it going in at least 1 or 2 days. It certainly hasn't taken me 2 weeks to learn the machine. It was a lot quicker and a lot easier than I imagined it to be. My third concern was, how long would it take me to be actually able to make something? Because time is so precious to me as a mother, and I work, I run my own business. I don't have a lot of time to just sit and play in my craft room every day. So, you know, I'm always looking for ways to craft in a quick and efficient and successful way so that I can experience success, I can create something, and it doesn't take me all day to do it. And I am amazed at how quickly you can make something on the Cricut. Those paper flowers, for example, they look so professional. They're the first paper flowers that I've ever created on the Cricut, and I'm just really impressed with how they turned out. I've got some ideas for my next video. I'm going to be making Christmas cards. I'm going to go and purchase the scoring attachment so that I can do some fancy fold cards on the Cricut. So stay tuned for that video. But it was certainly something that I didn't need to worry about. Making something on the Cricut is quick and easy, which is exactly what I like. My last concern was, I guess, my little inner self saying, can I do this? Well, you know what, we can do anything that we set our minds to, and this was not difficult. This is easier than trying to design a layout, trying to come up with the design for a set of 10 cards. Everything's done for you in the Cricut. In the Cricut design space, you can use that Cricut design space to create a project in a second. It's already done there. All we have to do is press the button, cut it out, and put it together. So I think in terms of can you do it or can I do it, I would say absolutely you can do it. It is not difficult. Probably, I guess, one of the drawbacks of the machine would be that you do have to purchase the monthly subscription, which is an extra expense that you may or may not wish to pay. But I think to really get the benefit of the machine, at least when you are a beginner, you probably will need to subscribe to that for a couple of months until you get comfortable with importing your own designs into Cricut. I'm really excited for the future on what I can create with the Cricut machine, and I look forward to sharing those videos with you. I'm going to be doing Christmas cards, I'm going to be doing labels in my craft room, and I'm going to be doing stickers. So stay tuned to my future Cricut videos. It has a special spot in my craft room. It's now a part of my family. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely crafty day.